I just want to share something with everybody. This is a conversation that my sister and I had it's probably been about 2 or 3 months. And, she called me and asked me if I remember the lines, the colored lines at the VA hospital. And, I remember the lines, and she asked me if I remembered which color line went where. And I didn't, and I don't now, but she did. But I wanted to tell you what came, just, I thought about last night, and it hit me. She's gone. But, it was an Easter, and my father was in the VA hospital, either in Lakeland or Gainesville. I can't remember which one. It was probably Lakeland first. And, we never had extra money. It just wasn't going to happen that way. So instead of staying in motels, we would sleep in the lobby. And my little sister and I, we knew, we weren't allowed to go to the ICU or into a patient's room. So, we'd get all cleaned up in the bathroom, and we'd go to the cafeteria while my mom went up there. And, we would follow the lines down the hall to where we needed to go. If we got lost, we'd see somebody and they would tell us which color to follow. And we never had any fear in there. It was like, we were safe. We felt safe. They watched over us. I mean, they truly watched over us. Sometimes I think they were like we thought we were being grown doing that, but really they were just kind of watching us and keeping us safe and directing us. And sometimes when I would, buy us breakfast, and that was nice because we'd get to sit at the table with them and eat with them. Usually it was the veterans that were in there for like the rehab from losing a leg, or what they were in there for. Or it was a very special treat for us was sometimes we would get invited to watch a movie with them. They had a movie room next to the cafeteria, and they'd sneak us in there, and we'd get to watch a movie with them. And this particular year, though, it was Easter, like I said, and my mother had explained to us that, the Easter Bunny, she didn't have time to get a hold of the Easter Bunny to let him know that we weren't going to be home, that, but not to worry. He'd see us when we got home. And, we were okay with that. Whatever she said, that's what we done. And that particular Easter morning, we get up and we do the same thing we always do. We went to the restroom, we would get cleaning up, and, Mom, they had, that was a rough year. They didn't think my father was going to make it. And they had called to speak to my mother. So she went up to the unit to talk to them. And my sister and I headed on our journey down the colored lines. We would sing the Yellow Brick song from Wizard of Oz, because that's what it reminded her of. And it still does. But this particular morning, here we go on our journey, passing by the same people every day, being looked out for, even though we didn't know it. But this particular day, there was one at the movie room, and he said, we went in, he told us to come in, and inside that movie room was this huge box. I do remember the box clearly. And around that box was a couple of them. And they, her little face, she was so excited because the Easter Bunny found us. And I'm telling you, there was a lot of stuff in that box. A lot, probably more than we had ever had before. And, I hadn't thought about that memory in a long time. But I see them in my mind, these men, that my sister and I really didn't fully understand, the whole thing behind the VA hospital. It was a hospital and our father was there. That was probably the scope of our understanding. But as adults, we realized that, these men, some of them left parts of themselves in a war zone. They left things where our father brought home things like metal fragments in a shoulder blade that could never be removed. All we really knew as little girls is we were safe. We were safe. And we knew that we were, I think early on, we kind of grew up under the protection of the love of this country. and really not fully understanding the full meaning of all that. Like I said, some of those men left something behind, and some of them brought things home. You know, I just wanted to share this with y'all and with her girls because I hope one day they get to see it, and I hope they see their mother. I really want them to see their mother. I had to write some of this so I wouldn't let it slip out of my mind, but when they were kind of like our babysitters, but I gotta say, I shared this only because it's a memory long put away from me until that phone call with my sister. It was always a memory she cherished and wanted to know if I had remembered that Easter and those colored lines. So I tell her now in her memory. So yes, little sister, I will never forget seeing that smile come across your face, your little face. And I hope her girls will see this one day and know that there was a little girl in that woman they called Mom, and remember her and cherish her. See that little smile? That's the smile I will always remember. Always had a smile. I told y'all she's always smiling. And also told you I always had that resting bitch face. It was just permanent. I just wasn't one of those kids that was going to just light up. But she just smiled all the time. So thank you for listening. God bless y'all. Please, just send a little white mama